Diego, start with you. Talk to me about, what you guys have been working on this week. So you ended today, you and Mateus, both 200s apart, but fastest. So, what's been the progress so far? What have you been chasing, and what do you feel like you have?
For sure the weekend is going good. We test some different chassis this week, and it's working now. We had a speed with old tires, like new tires in the last session. Me and Morgado, and for sure, I think we're gonna be fast in the race and the quali tomorrow.
And then Ryan, over to you. Weekend report so far. We've been here for 5 weeks, so I can't imagine you're doing a whole lot on the test days. What's been the week like?
I mean, to be honest, we are trying a lot. I think that's one of the things about Orlando that makes this track so difficult is that it's just constantly changing. Like I've been saying that from Wednesday practice to now, we've seen like a probably an 8/10 to 9/10 swing, and it being slower. And so that's the thing about this track is it's always changing. It's always forcing you to keep working on the kart. So for us, we have the history from USPKS being here and Rock being here, obviously, but the track's a lot different, and so it's driving a lot more different. And so for us, it's just constantly adapt. And you see, there was times this week where we were trying to make changes, and basically we went one way, and so did the track. We went that way, and the track went the opposite way, and so we just ended up being a lot slower than we should have been. So we're working, we're trying some stuff, and I think we found some pace there in the last heat. I mean, we always will find something, but it's whether or not it's going to be like an easy thing or it's going to be a difficult. So, yeah, we're working on it. We're going to definitely, have some stuff to think about tonight, but we're trying to get some more speed.
Harley, over to you. Same thing. Kind of rate, this is is this your first time over here in the States?
Yeah, first time.
So, first time over here in the U.S., for different team. Sodi Kart, you haven't been with them for long. Is this the first time on the chassis too?
With the without gears, yeah, it's the first time on the chassis. Quite new to everything, and obviously it's the first time I've been here. Wednesday, just getting used to everything, getting used to the grip, not something that I'm used to. And Thursday and today, give it a big push and was quite fast.
What do you think's so much the grip not being used to? Is it more lack thereof? Because a lot of guys have been saying the track, even though we've been putting a lot of tires down, it hasn't really got a ton of rubber. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like from what I've been used to, there's loads of grip, so you can carry a bit more corner speed. And here is quite slippery, and especially when it gets hot, it's very slippery.
So Ryan, back over to you, right? With everything that's gone on over the last few weeks and really this whole year, I mean, how do you rate it? This is the longest it feels like in a while you've gone without a major national win. So,
Thank you, Xander.
How are you feeling this weekend? Has that weighed on you at all this year so far?
No, I mean it's like all of us. We all just we only view ourselves as just as good as our last race. That's what I've always said. That's what I always view myself as. So even if your last race was winning, it's kind of like you even start looking at your last session. And so I never really let that stuff weigh on me. But, I mean, yeah, we're trying to win. I mean, we've had some good opportunities. Obviously, the last race we were fast enough. But, yeah, a little underweight in qualifying. And we've had speed. It's just a matter of certain things going our way. But to be honest with you, like I'm really enjoying this season, as difficult as it is. Like it's probably one of the most fun seasons I've had because we're really working super hard every time we're here. We're staying late, we're pushing really hard to get the kart fast. And so for me, this is a good season. It's a fun season. I like when it's more difficult. Like obviously driving away all the time is fun and winning races is fun. But this is what racing is supposed to be like. This is how it's supposed to be. So for me, having to work for it every race, that's good. I mean, I like it. I like all the guys. I like that there's, people coming in from all over the world trying to race and race a series. So for me, this is good, and I'm having fun. I mean, obviously, I would like to win one of these at some point, but it's hopefully it's sooner than later.
And speaking about winning, Harley, we were joking about this before we started the press conference. One of the reasons you wanted to get over to the States here to race is the cash prize money up for grabs. So how excited are you to be here? And it sounds like we'll get to have you a few more races this year too.
Yeah, obviously, racing in the States, you get cash prize. But it's not only that; it's everything to it. You know, like the drivers are good. It's more relaxed. It's just more enjoyable. You know, it feels like you actually want to race.
So like over there, it almost feels like a little more forced in the environments you've been in.
It's very tense out there. Like you're always under a bit of pressure. You're always trying to push yourself, and most of the time you probably go over the limit. And here you can joke, and you can not necessarily joke, but like you can. It's a much easier way of working.
Diego, on to you. Marian was testing some different tubes earlier this week. Obviously, you guys, I don't think the speed's been bad, but, to go 1-2 in a practice session, that's probably one of the better starts to a weekend that you boys in red have had all year for both you and Mateus. So, is there anything different with your package this week? Have you guys done anything different, motor-wise, chassis-wise, or has it just been hit the money?
No, for sure we are working so hard. Like I said, we test like 3 different chassis doing the rig, and we find something better, I mean, and I'm really happy like with the team because they want to come back to the top, like they working so hard, like us working so hard, testing a lot, and we find this is good for us.
Harley, for the new team environment, how comfortable do you feel like with the PK guys? Has it been a really, really good start, being under that tent in operation for the first time?
Yeah, obviously a big thanks to them. They're really good guys. On Wednesday, we was a bit unsure with the chassis, sliding a little bit, trying to find something, and then Thursday morning we decided to try something completely different, and it worked, and we've stuck with that ever since.
And even throughout the day, the track's been changing, but for the most part, Kart's still been good with the different conditions?
Yeah, from morning to the end of the day, it's been almost the same, and I've managed to tire quite well, so it's not really changed.
Tire deg's a good point to talk about here, Ryan. We ran 26 laps for that USPKS main event, and all through the weekend, the longest session was maybe a heat race of 10, 12 laps, practice session 8 to 10 laps. So, having gone through that and then being on a very similar tire, which should be the same, a Vinco tire, same factory and everything, how much can you pull from that, and what did you learn from that longer main?
That's a hard one. I think the thing about this track, man, is you don't know really anything until you go out there. I think everybody was caught off guard last weekend, or not last weekend. It feels like it was last weekend. I've been here so much. A few weekends ago for USPKS, I think everybody was kind of caught off guard about how slow the track was in the final. I think we all went out there on new tires, and we were like, we're 7/10 off our qualifying times. By the end of the session, we were in the 54s, and we qualified in the low 53s. So I think everybody was caught off. But the truth of it is you really don't know until you're out there, and that's the hardest part. Is you might feel good in the beginning of the session, and then somebody goes off, and then you're just slow the rest of it. And so in practice, it doesn't really show the full story because some guys get a cleaner lap or something. It doesn't show how they're driving when the track's not so good at the end of the session. Because if you just look at the results, it's like, oh, this guy's fast, but he really did that when the track was clean, and then the other laps the track was dirty, and there's another group of guys that were a lot faster pace-wise. And so I keep saying it. That's what's crazy about this track. I live here. I've done so many laps around here, and it's like you're constantly working to find something. I think as a racing track, for the drivers, obviously it's difficult, but like for the setup, I think that's what it comes down to is getting the kart right, and not only staying on top of the track, but staying ahead of the track. Obviously we're all kind of got an idea now. We've been here for so many weeks that the track kind of does certain things at a certain time of the day. But, it's really about trying to anticipate something else happening. There's guys that are going to be going off, in the first couple laps. How are we going to adapt to that? How are we going to try and, get the kart some more grip so when the track's dirty, we're all right. We're not going to be in a bad spot. And so, yeah, I think, obviously we can pull some information. All of our teams have been here for the past 4 weeks or whatever. So we could all pull information from that. We all know what the track's generally going to do. But to say, like, yeah, I know the track's going to be doing this in the final, no, I have no idea. I mean, we're going out for a final, not on new tires. USPKS, we're going out for the final on new tires. This one, we're going to be going out on 2-3 session old tires. We're going to have 30 laps on them. The final's not that much shorter. I think it's only like 4 laps shorter. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard final.
Diego, this is the first time we've had to gotten the chance to talk to you after Rock. You know, you and Blake Nash have had a couple run-ins on the racetrack. Did you talk to him? You know, kind of what was your perspective on that crash where, you got spun out? And then have you guys talked since? Did you talk to him in the scales, talk to him after? You know, where are you with him?
No, I didn't talk to him, but the race is past. Maybe it was my mistake or his mistake, but it's already past, you know. I don't I always like be friends with the drivers out the track. You know, like in the track, you're doing your race, you wanna win, he wanna win, but for sure for me is like me and Nash is good right now. Like I think was my mistake, I don't know, but we figured out. I'm fine.
Gotcha. Harley, last question for you. We'll kind of wrap this stuff up a little bit. What are you most looking forward to, being over here in the States? Obviously, Orlando is a cool city. I don't know if you've gotten to maybe go over to Disney or Universal yet, or if you're planning on that next week. But for your first weekend experience racing over here, being over here, what are you most excited to, what are you most excited about this week?
I've always enjoyed the racing bit. I think that's probably what I'm most excited for. I've heard the racing's quite good over here. I've obviously watched a few races. Looks enjoyable. We're all very close, so it'll be a good race. I think there'll be 5 or 6 for the win. It should be good.
Diego, last question to wrap you up over here again. Like Ryan said, speed was good. Short run, got the good lap in. Where do you guys feel for long run pace on 20 laps on older tires? Do you feel pretty good on old tires too?
I feel pretty good. Today was like almost perfect for us. We started the day with new tires and we just put the new tires again in the last session. And every session when we go to the track, we had the speed, we had the pace. We work a lot with the used tires in the chassis, and I think we'll be good the race. We think we're gonna have the pace with used tires for the final, but like he said, you never know the track. You go to the track and the track can be slippery, the track can be good, but you never know. It always need find something and go try.
Ryan, over to you for the last question. You've coached here a lot. You're coaching at Rock, raced USPKS. You've been a part of the test weekends, last weekend of it. Where's your head at, with the 5 weeks of Orlando we've had and the race coming up this week?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm definitely tired. It's a lot of laps around the same place. Luckily, I got my little suite here, so it's been nice to get up here and take a break every once in a while and cool off. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on this week. We've been fast a lot of the Fridays leading up to the race. Never won. So right now we're kind of on our back foot. So I'm hoping that's a sign that means we'll be faster tomorrow and Sunday. I have no idea, but I'm hoping that's the case. We're still working on some things, so we're definitely hitting the drawing board every night, and we're gonna keep pushing. I think it's just a tough track. Doing a lot of laps here. Obviously, I like that they put up the cones and stuff. It's helped a lot with my ribs and keeping this old man, together for this whole 5 weeks. It's definitely helped a lot. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to the racing. I think the racing is going to get really good. So, hopefully the racing is good and people stay on the racetrack.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.